Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome here to the Launchpad, or maybe good afternoon or good morning, depending where you're joining us from. You are looking at a live view from Starbase, Texas, where earlier today, SpaceX destacked Starship S-30 from atop of Super Heavy Booster 12, and we've been watching this crane move into position, and in the last 10 minutes, they have lifted the load separator for the hot staging ring, and you can now see crews standing on top of Super Heavy Booster 12's hot stage ring, and it does appear that they are going to be removing that ring from on top of the Super Heavy booster. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on this operation over the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. We'll see how quickly they do this. It truly is amazing to see how quickly they can now operate on some of these activities, now having done them so many times. We have no reason why specifically they're removing this, but there obviously is a reason. They had it fully stacked earlier today. They went through that dress rehearsal a couple of days ago and some incredible photo ops over the last few days. But now Starship S-30 down at the base of the tower, having been removed from the chopsticks and moved away from the base of the tower, and now all eyes are on the hot staging ring. If it's your first time here, though, welcome. My name's Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the Launchpad, and here at TLP, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow, because we believe that space is better together, and we're glad to have you joining us here live. If it's your first time here with us for live coverage of activities at Starbase, this is from our very own TLP Starbase camera. We're working on deploying more of these at Starbase and around the world to bring you a closer look as this new era of space exploration as we get ready to reach out to the moon and then on to Mars. If you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging us at the Launchpad, and we'll work on answering those live right here. You don't have to send those in as super chats or anything. Just make sure you're tagging us at the Launchpad, and we'll work on answering those. Echo 4 Delta does say it's due to storms coming, which is a great point. We are monitoring weather out in the Gulf of Mexico, the possibility of another tropical storm or hurricane developing in the next 7 days. But that would not be a reason they have to take the hot stage ring off. I do believe that they would be able to roll back with that ring on top, we would assume. I don't believe, actually, we have seen them roll it out with it on. I believe we do always see them put it on out at the pad, but I wonder if they would be able to roll back with that should they need to. But we're keeping a close eye on the operations. The next road closure is currently scheduled for October 2nd from midnight to 3 a.m. So that would coincide with when we would expect to see a rollback of the ship, now the hot stage ring, and possibly even the booster. So we might see, for the first time ever, a full stack Starship roll out or roll back to the build site all at the same time. We've never seen a booster, hot stage ring, and ship all at the exact same moment, which is really great to see as SpaceX continues to evolve the Starship program. You can also see here that black box on the side of the booster where the reinforcements have been placed in preparation for the catch attempt for Flight 5. Catching up on your guys' questions that you're sending in the chat. You can keep sending those in by tagging us at the Launchpad. Also, make sure to take a moment, engage that like button. It really does help us out. Share out the stream while we continue to monitor operations. Zodiac, I have a question. Is there a source to look at for SpaceX? Thanks if you know. We only look, we have sources in industry that we do talk to, but we take anything that we report publicly on one of our streams is directly from the press office at SpaceX or NASA or whoever to make sure that we are giving you confirmed information. We may have other information internally, but we never present information until, one, we know it's confirmed, and two, we know it is public. There's a lot of information out there that is unconfirmed. There's a lot of information that is out there that is not meant to be public or meant to be public yet. And if we do ever hear any of that, we make sure to confirm that we are allowed to talk about it prior than sharing it out. So there's not specifically a source you can go to other than SpaceX themselves. Scott says, just saw SpaceX Falcon 9 was grounded per review. Yes, SpaceX did ground their Falcon 9 vehicle yesterday following the successful launch of Crew 9, and I think that's an important distinction. The Crew 9 launch was successful. The failure of the second stage landing outside the splash zone was part of its recovery. The launch was successful and right where it should have been. So that's an important distinction to be had. But SpaceX did ground the vehicle themselves, saying they were going to do an investigation into why it happened, and now the FAA has released a statement earlier this afternoon that they are going to require a full investigation. They did confirm that there was no public safety issue with it, so this is something that if SpaceX can figure out what the issue is, we could see them flying back within a number of days, like we saw with the last failure. But interesting to see 3 Falcon 9 problems in a matter of about 3 months, 2 with the second stage Raptor. Not Raptor, Merlin, Merlin vacuum. So it's interesting to see that, where we've had such a successful timeline and now have had these 3 issues over the last 3 months. Zodiac says, could you please explain what the ring is? I'm new to SpaceX, so not yet informed. Absolutely. Thanks for sending that in. So the hot staging ring, which while we watch will get removed here, and I am working to try to keep this focused as best as we can. We are shooting a number of miles, and the lighting conditions are changing as the sun sets. So bear with me here if the camera goes in and out of focus a little bit while we work on this. But the hot staging ring was an addition to the SpaceX Starship Super Heavy booster that you can see there. It's, I don't know, roughly about what, 12 feet tall? Maybe a little bit more, 15 feet tall. And it has basically open air sectioning to it, so Starship stacks on top. And during the staging portion of Starship, the booster shuts down most of its engines, but some of them do stay lit. And then Starship actually ignites its engines while still attached to the booster. So the hot staging ring allows the exhaust and the thrust of the Starship engines, rather than bursting through the top of the Super Heavy booster, to curve and shoot out the sides of Starship's, the hot stage ring, prior to their separation. And we're talking a matter of seconds here, really matter of a second and a half. But it is a critical part of how the staging program works. Simi points out, hey, Launchpad, why does it say 2400 UTC? I get the UTC part, but 2400 is midnight. That is a really good question. That is a bug in our internal systems. That is really fun. That should say 00 UTC. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of that, and we'll work on getting that fixed. I don't know why. Now, if it goes to 2502 in an hour, we have a bigger problem. But yes, it should say 0002 right now. Great catch there. Has SpaceX or anyone given any indicator as why they're removing the hot staging ring? I'm assuming it has something to do with Fish and Game. We have no information on why they're removing this. It is just something that they're doing. It could mean that if the things are pointing that they're going to roll everything back to the build site. So it could just be they're removing that and they'll roll it by itself. It could be to do with something else. We'll have to wait and see. That's one of the things that is really amazing, frustrating, challenging, and unique with the Starship program. It is so large, they can't hide it. They built it on the public road, so there's people standing literally at the base of the launch facility right now that are part of the public. And we get to have cameras like this staring at the development. So we don't necessarily get updates until we get official updates, and that's normally around launches or other activities. We don't get a lot of updates around why they do things when they do. Catching up on your guys' chat. Simi says, caught that last night. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. That's kind of funny. Zodiac, could you explain the history of Starship? I hear it started not too long ago. I'm also not sure the facts of Starship's history. I would encourage you to go watch SpaceX's channel. Go back on our channel and watch some of the old Starship flights and testing. We've been covering it since early 2021. with a 24/7 camera a few different times there. We're excited to have this new one, giving a much better view of the launch facility, much closer up where you can legitimately see the people walking around, which is going to be really cool. If we ever had like crew launches from here, you'd be able to see them boarding the vehicles. So, well, who knows if we'll ever actually see that. But I encourage you, head to SpaceX's website, check out their YouTube channel as well for some of their early testing, like Starhopper. But yeah, they began this program. When was it? 2018, 2019 was when we saw MK1, which was the first ever mock-up. And then they went down to Starhopper, which is still on site. You can go and see it, which was their first ever hop test where they went up, 50 feet, 100 meters, 50 meters, did little hops. And then they scaled up through the SN series. So SN 5, 6, 8, 10. SN 10 almost landed. SN 11, no one knows what happened, but it exploded all over the place on landing, or prior to landing. And then SN 15 is the one that successfully landed for the first time doing the belly flop. And then, a long time passed, and we got to a full stack, which we thought would fly, and it didn't. Then the next full stack we got ended up flying with Flight 1. Didn't get too far down range, and every time they've flown now in the last year and a half, they have made incredible leaps and bounds in the success of the program, that the next time this flies, this booster on your screen right now, if we were to zoom out, you'd see these chopstick arms, which is what's used to stack the ship, stack the booster. Those arms are actually going to catch the booster in air when it returns from its flight, is what they're going to test for. So I would definitely encourage you to check out, there's different websites, even Wikipedia, just SpaceX Starship, will give you a really great breakdown of its history, because there's been a lot to it, and it's probably not a bad idea for us to do a video on that. I'm actually going to write a note on that, Zodiac, to see if we can maybe do a crash course on Starship, because a lot of people are just starting to tune into it and want to know that history. So it's a really great idea. I appreciate the question. Eric, when is the next launch? Should have a poll to guess. We had one running in our 24/7 camera saying the FAA currently says that they are not going to give a license till the end of November. So end of November, early December. Could we see that come early November? Possibly. If things progress faster, we'll have to wait and see. But we will see 1 to 2 more launches this year. SpaceX said they were ready to fly 2 weeks ago. Now, they haven't done every single test they need to do to fly yet. They haven't done a full wet dress rehearsal and that, but they've started completing those over the last couple of weeks that, they're really at the point of being ready to fly at this point. But yeah, it's going to be at least a month and a bit until we see it fly. If you're just joining us, you are looking at a live view of SpaceX Starbase, Texas, where crews are removing the hot staging ring from the Super Heavy booster. This is just hours after Starship S-30 was destacked from Booster 12. The Starship is now stationed out of the chopsticks down at the base of the launch tower, really in a position where we probably expect to see it roll back. We have a row closure scheduled for October 2nd at 12 a.m. to 3 a.m., so I would likely we're going to see the hot stage ring removed today, and then maybe the booster removed tomorrow, everything prepped, and then they're going to do a convoy of everything later, technically tomorrow night, into the 2nd at that, the 12 a.m. mark on the 2nd. We'll keep a close eye on it and bring you coverage of that as we can. If it's your first time here, though, make sure you take a moment and hit the subscribe button so you never miss another live launch coverage or Starbase coverage, as we work to expand that to bring you better coverage of the Super Heavy program. The Starship Super Heavy program, excuse me. We do believe that space is better together, and if you haven't yet, join us over also on our TLP Discord. It's where our community hangs out in between streams, and we would love to see you in there. You can keep sending your guys' comments and questions in the chat by tagging us at the Launchpad. Looks like they are removing the crew from on top of the hot stage ring, so I would say lift is imminent. So let's stand by and watch as SpaceX removes the hot staging ring from Starship Super Heavy's booster.